Hello and welcome to ATS. Well, you may have purchased your Sig P238 and you may actually have even taken it to the range and shot it, but you haven't cleaned it because you're not really sure how to disassemble it and how to clean it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So first things first, we're going to remove the magazine, set that aside. And then we're going to lock the slide back, and we're going to look inside and make sure that there's nothing in the chamber, and you can see it is empty. You can physically check it with your finger if you want. So then we let the slide back, and what we're going to do is we're going to push on this little button right here as we're pulling the slide back. And I'm going to do it with my left hand, and I'll pull the slide back just until, if you can see right there, it's come out just a little bit. See how it's recessed on this side? So we're just going to pull back a little bit more, take the pressure off, and pull that pin out. Now your slide will come right off. Okay, so now your lower is separated from your slide. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take out the recoil spring. Now this is one spring and it's not captured. So when you pull it out, you have to take it out easy because that will go flying if you don't. Then just set it aside. And then your barrel, you just come down and lift up and straight out like that. Let me show you that again. So down, lift up, and slide it out. Set it aside. Okay, this is your slide. Now, there's a million different cleaners out there. What I like is Ballistol, and this is a cleaner, a lubricant, and a protectant. You can use whatever you want, but that's what I use. I use a nylon brush, and I'll put a little Ballistol on there, and I'll scrub the rails like this, the inside, and I'll do it in this motion here. This little plunger right back in here. Let me see if I can get that right there. That plunger is part of your drop safety. You do not want to get any oil or any of this lubricant down inside there. You want to make sure that stays dry. Okay, so you'll clean all of this. You clean inside of here. And once you got all that clean, well, before you even do that, when you take it apart, first thing you're going to do is take a dry patch, and just wipe off all the heavy stuff, okay? Then go ahead and do this with your cleaner, and Q-tips are your friend. You can get down in all these tight spots like that and wipe everything down in the rails, clean all that down. Some people use pipe cleaners as well. So anything to help you get into that area is a good thing. Now, this part right here is your bolt face, where your firing pin is. Your firing pin comes out right here. You do not want to get any lubricant or oil down in that area. So when you're cleaning that, make sure you have it held this way, and you run the brush this way with the cleaner so that any lubricant or oil falls downward away from that hole, and it does not go inside your firing pin. Because if you get gunk inside there, your firing pin is going to get gummy and it's not going to fire. You're going to pull the trigger and nothing's going to happen. So you want to make sure you do that. Then wipe it all down, clean it. And then an important area is, sorry about that excess noise there. An important part is the extractor, which is a little bit hard to see. It's a claw right here. And what that extractor does is when the gun is fired, that claw will grab the spent casing and pull it out. It will pull it straight back, and then it'll hit this ejector right here. You hit the ejector and it will throw the spent casing out, and then it'll feed in a new cartridge. So you want to make sure you keep that clean. And what I'll do is I'll take a toothpick and I'll go in there and clean that out real good. With a little bit of lubricant on it, and then scrape it real good and make sure that it is clean. Okay, that's all you have to do for that. then for this area, the important things to remember here is not to manipulate this safety lever when the slide's off, because there's a little ball in there that can go flying, and it's not good. I have a whole video on that. So do not manipulate this when this is a slide, when it's off. Okay, the other thing to be careful for is this wire right here. Don't hit that with a brush and pull on that. So be really careful in that area. Okay, so I just take my brush and I just do a little bit of cleaning here. Nothing extensive in here. You can use a smaller end in here. And I get it nice and clean, get it dry. Now to clean the barrel, you're going to need a brush, a wire brush, and a jag, and cleaning patches. So what I do is I'll just take my ballistol and I'll spray it down inside there, and I'll leave it set for 15 minutes or so. And then I will take my brush and I will run it through the barrel, in and out, always from the back, never from the front, because the front has a crown on it, what's called a crown. And if you nick that, it's going to affect the accuracy. So it's always from the back. So that's how you clean that. Then you'll take a patch and you stick it on your jag like this, and you will run it again through the back side all the way through. And you do it until you do the brush and the patches until the patches come out clean. Okay, and then when you're going to lube the barrel to put it back in, just put a drop of oil here, move it around with your fingers and spread it around. And then when it's time to lube, I use a very small bottle with a needle nose on it for the oil, and I'll put a couple, 3 drops in here in the rail on both sides, and then I will put a little bit of oil, just a little bit on your finger, and just move it around here and here. Wherever you see shiny spots where there's wear, that's where you're going to put that. And then put the slide back together. You're going to drop your barrel in, pull it back, and now you have to put the recoil spring in. And here's the part that you have to be careful. It's a little pigtail on the end, so you have to make sure that pigtail does not come out here. It has to sit flush. So it has to look like that, and then this part is going to sit right on the barrel. So you have to make sure that that part is down. So we're going to stick it in like this and pull the spring back and set it down. So now, to make sure that it's sitting flush on the barrel, which now it is, and you don't see the spring here. So that's a good thing. Okay? So we're good. So then you're going to put the slide back on. So you set it this way. Now here's another real important part. This ejector here, if you slide this back now, you're going to ruin that ejector. So you need to push this down, not real far, but just enough to clear the slide. So it looks like this. Okay? And you got to pass there. Now you have to get this pin back in. So you stick it in here, like that, and I line it up like this with my thumb, and I'll pull back on the slide, and you'll feel it drop in to that notch right there. You see that notch right there, right next to my thumb? Okay, once you do that, it's back in. So you check it, and it's good to go. And then put an empty magazine in. Make sure the magazine is empty, point it in a safe direction, pull the trigger, and make sure that it's functional. Okay? Again, when you rack your slide, you're going to move all that oil around inside the rail and in the gun. So that's how you disassemble, clean, lubricate, and reassemble. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you'd like to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, shoot often, shoot safe, and God bless.